Hey family, we have a new crew tier with exclusive members only polls, messages, and content. We already have some videos live, like our skeleton key reading, a spirit animal bird reading, so I'll see you on the other side of the Onyx key. Make sure you hit the join button so you can go deeper down this experience with me. Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in a description box below. So we're back with another pick a card reading. It's timeless, it's love-based. Y'all kept asking for love readings. Y'all kept asking specifically for marriage-based readings. So we're getting another one 2 months in a row. This is a new topic, hence the sorbet spouse thumbnail. I'm excited about having new visuals on the channel. And then we're gonna ask just what marriage life is gonna be like for you guys. Okay, so we'll see what we can find out about your future spouse. We'll get some information on what's to come following all of the cute wedding and the romancing and such for all of you. Okay, I don't really have any updates. Just keep remembering, guys, that I am filming these a little bit further out. So if you have questions, just make sure you put like a little timestamp regarding the question, or just be a little more specific, because again, I won't remember. Okay, so we're gonna hop into your pile selection for those of you that are visually impaired, or if you like to choose based on me verbally describing the piles. Let's do it now. We're holding it up. Pile number 1 is the watermelon sorbet. Pile number 2 is the coconut sorbet. And pile number 3 is the blueberry sorbet. Pile number 4 is blackberry sorbet. I'll give you a moment to make your selection. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile number 1, my watermelon sorbet. Let's see some information on your future spouse, what life will be like after all of the romancing and the wedding, right? Married life. So for those of you that are new, I read and channel past, present, as well as incoming energy. I do read a polarity, which means there's a light as well as a shadow. You just have to find yourself in the lesson and the journey. Okay, now I will say, I'm already knocking stuff over. Yeah, look at me. Most of you, I just want to make you aware, this is intended to see who. Like, this isn't necessarily intended for you to have a specific person in mind, unless like you're engaged, right? Like if you're engaged, that's different. But I know sometimes you guys have like your crushes. I have tons of crush themed readings, so go there if that's the topic, because this isn't necessarily see what married life with your crush or whoever would be. This is to see like someone you're actually already connected with, or if you're single and not connected, what that'll look like when you settle down with someone. Okay, so I hope that's clear. So tell me at pile number 1, give me an overview for my pile number 1's future spouse and what married life is gonna be like. Okay. Oh, okay, 2 things. There's gonna be 2 ways. So we've got the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming, and the full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So, you know, I think the reason why I felt called to mention the whole, this is like if you're engaged already, or if you like if you're just looking ahead to see what it's going to be like when you find somebody, because the answers you need are coming. The end of a tough cycle approaches feels very direct. It's like, don't worry about it. You're going to get the clarity you need regarding your connection. You're going to get the clarity you need regarding where you're headed in terms of your love life. So that's just a little message for you. But let me see more about what the marriage life is going to be like. Hold your vision. Those of you that are engaged, if it's a little, and I'm not talking about where it's so chaotic, like where it's 2 people that have no business being together, right? I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, there's ups and downs in relationships. I'm so glad I get to talk about this because y'all treat me like I'm a hater. There's ups and downs in relationships. If you are engaged and it's like we're engaged, it's chaos, I don't know what's going on, like something shifted, something's going on, you're in like a rough patch. That's normal. Like when people get married, when people are married for like years and decades, like that is a journey of, you're not going to like each other all the time. You're not going to be happy all the time. I mentioned after all of the romancing and the fluttering of the heart, like real life sets in. And if you're going to spend your life with somebody, that takes effort, even when it's not feeling the best. So just don't worry about it in the, like, am I making the right decision? Because like if you've been with someone and you've been taking your time and you're confident, like you were confident enough to get engaged, like I wouldn't overreact to hiccups. Now, if we notice shifts in behaviors and things like that following engagement, like a total shift in like whole new person after that, then that's a red flag. I would explore that further, but that's not the topic today. So just know the answers you need are coming. The end of a tough cycle approach is just hold your vision. Okay. And for those of you that are single, right? That's saying like, if it's been very rough, if it's been very difficult finding someone that you could see yourself marrying, that time is the time is approaching where you'll be in alignment with a long-term connection. Okay, so let me get these tarot cards. What's their life going to be like after the wedding for these people selecting this watermelon sorbet? Feels like two people that make life easier, right? When we talk about getting like actually like day to day following a wedding and getting married, feels like two people that make each other's lives easier. Help each other focus, right? Holding your vision feels like you keep each other grounded and help each other focus. Feels very stable and routine based. So I've got a Queen of Wands. All right. I've got the Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Okay. All right, there we go. Interesting. So what's at the bottom? Got an Emperor. These are really active people. Okay. Right. Queen of Wands is very fiery, very creative, very expressive, feminine. The Emperor is very dominant, masculine. So it feels like a couple that's go move, that doesn't really have time to think. Watch it, because this is a combination of people that argue. So like, just watch it. Those of you that are connected, right? That may be asking about somebody specific. I say that because it feels very combative. It feels very aggressive. It does say hold your vision. It does say tough cycle is closing, but holding your vision with these two personality types could be very rigid. It could be very two people that are not willing to compromise with each other, and it going poorly as a result. Like, I don't mean to make this a dominantly shadow pile, but that's here, right? The answers you need are coming. The end of a tough cycle approach is going to require some compromise. Like if you're I, me, and this person's I, me, like the Emperor implies, that's not going to work. It's going to be very chaotic day to day. Okay. Now I do see more this being a connection where, I hate saying this in a public reading, but I'm just reading the table because this is not like my personal opinion. This is a connection where the person that's feminine in nature or more receptive, however you want to take it, however you want to word it, is the one to kind of take a little more, compromise a little more. That's I know how y'all get mad at me. I didn't choose this life for you. I didn't choose any of this. I'm reading the table. But the Queen of Wands is, right, for the sake of, we have a Two of Cups and an Ace of Cups, right? Which talks about love. It talks about being understanding. It talks about being compassionate, but it feels like two different cups having to become one, right? And that one cup being dominantly the Emperor's, right? The Emperor is the overview. So it feels like a feminine that may be more of a homemaker, caretaker role. I'm not saying all of you have to do that, but that's kind of where the compromise has to happen. In a lot of instances, it feels like that's where it has to happen. It feels like a more traditional dynamic, like what people expect, right? People always expect like people that are more feminine expression. When we talk about straight couples, it's usually the woman that has to compromise a little more. That's what I see on the table for this union. Okay, so let me see more. What's the married life gonna be like? Like pouring your cup into his. That's kind of the vibe, right? And all connections are welcome here. So wherever the more masculine nature one is, that's the cup that gets poured into, mostly with the union that I'm seeing for pile 1, okay? Not saying that Queen of Wands is lacking in any way. I do not see that. It's just, yeah. Let me see, give me more. Tell me more about married life for this watermelon sorbet. Table's really quiet, by the way. Like, I'm not used to it being this quiet, so I don't know what's going on for this pile. Coffee cup. Meeting and talking, savoring the moment, feeling elevated, building friendship. So, you know, it's a couple, day to day. Most of your time together will be spent in the mornings. I don't know why that's a thing. Mostly in the mornings, okay? Let's see what this is. Like, you're gonna have your coffee, you're gonna have your breakfast together, and I guess by you being so busy, this person being so busy, you'll see each other later on in the evening, right? But it just feels like being very busy, and most of your time, most of your conversations happening in the morning, okay? And then here I got passion, insane chemistry, sparks, having fun, equal interest, burning desire. Lots of passion, lots of stimulant. What I love about this pile, I mentioned being cognizant of the aggression and the attitude and the arguing. Very, very passionate pile. Like, very passionate, which is why it says hold your vision. The answers you need are coming. The end of a tough cycle approaches. I'm not gonna lie, this is a couple that fights. Okay, like I don't know about like physically, but I'm saying like the arguments, the debates, the conversations, intense. Very passionate as individuals, very passionate in union. And that's the shadow of it, but the latter is like insane chemistry. Like, this is a couple, lots of sensual energy in the morning. Driving, minding my language, we're in a public channel, but like very passionate, specifically in the mornings. Like, the morning time is like really passionate for this married couple, okay? This is also a couple that may actually like wake up early in the morning together and hit the gym together. Like, let's get our day started, let's get this coffee, let's get rolling, move, go. Like, it's very busy, very active, very exciting, okay? I've got camera, reminiscing, making memories, learn from the past, perception. So, you know, I don't know why the mornings is a big deal, but this is a couple that wakes up really early in the morning, right? Together, and just has all kinds of random conversations, reflects on everything. Like, maybe you work really late at night, but like, it feels like in the morning you wake up and that's when you start talking about everything that happened yesterday. So that, I feel like this is my couple of in the mornings. Every morning, that's your thing, is that's when you really have your time to connect. That's when you're supposed to spend most of your time together. So let me see more. I'm going to use this back here. We're rolling. This is pretty straightforward. Like, it's not a dry, boring union at all. It's very exciting, passionate. Like, the fights are intense. The sensual energy is intense. But as far as like communicating it, it's not like, it's not a very loud table. Like, I'm not channeling energy for this pile. I'm just reading cards, which is not that common. So it feels like a very stable, grounded couple. I don't know that this is like an intense spiritual connection. It just feels like two people that are compatible, that it works with, and you're good and you just like each other. But like, I don't know that this is one of those synastry charts that we would look at and be like, oh, this is deeply intense union and soul connection and all of that. But again, it doesn't take away from any of the passion. Very attracted to each other, like physically, mentally, emotionally. It's just a very grounded, practical couple. Let's see. You may not be religious in nature as a couple, but that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Abundance, hidden wealth, transformation, growth. Feels like a couple that people may not see a lot or see together a lot. I mentioned being really busy, spending most of your time together in the morning, which would imply possibly at home. So people may not, like, it may be the type of married couple where people don't even realize that you're married to each other because they never see you together. And it's not like it's hidden or anything. It's just you're both so busy with your own lives. And even where I see the feminine compromising some, this is a Queen of Wands. It's like, yeah, I'll pour my cup into your cup, but you better make sure it stays full. Like, that's the energy. So very invested in lots of things, right? So where this is a Queen of Wands, that where the energy can be focused on the self, where it won't take away from the Emperor, it will absolutely be done so, right? So it's kind of like managing your identity within a connection, knowing you're going to have to compromise, but knowing that you can choose certain hobbies, career paths, things like that, that won't take away from the cup that actually is, which is that Emperor's. So it feels like it works. It feels like everybody's comfortable, it's happy. It's just that, like I said, this is the couple that when they fight, they fight. Don't get into trouble, y'all. Let me see. All right. Yeah, trapped, imprisonment, caught, blockages, cornered, stuff. That's not really the worst thing, right? It feels like two people that hide away together, right? Forest and trap feels like two people that hide away together. Something about the color green is a thing, okay? There's something with the color green. Maybe that's like the wedding colors. Maybe that's like something in the house, a car, something with the couple though is green. Also green with envy, very jealous of each other. Makes sense, very jealous of each other, okay? Let me see. It's at the bottom. Got groupie, shallow fan, obsession, stalking, lust. Very jealous of each other. Very jealous of each other. It feels like, and this could be a shadow, so just watch it and don't let it be a chaotic thing. But I feel like this is my pal that actually gets off on that, gets a rush on that, that thinks that's cute. And I don't have anything against it. Like, I'm not judging you, but like, don't get into trouble. Because it feels like a couple that you're very attracted to each other. You're very attractive, I guess I'll say it that way. But it feels like one or both of you will always assume that somebody else is interested in you or them, right? So like, and it can be chaotic and get into trouble. Like, it's like, so for example, the Queen of Wands might think that everybody at the Emperor's job is interested in the Emperor. The Emperor may say, oh, I don't want you doing this or going there, because they assume that everybody around the Queen of Wands is attracted to them in a sexual way. Like, it feels like a couple where you always assume that people are sexually attracted to the other one. It feels like can't have friends almost. So just watch that. Just watch that. Let me pull more. Now one more deck. Very, very interesting pile. I'm going to close you out with this, honestly, just because the topic is, I don't know, your pile's so quiet. I'm not going to just keep pulling cards just for the sake of pulling cards. But I gave you what I gave you about this union. It doesn't feel like a bad thing. It just feels like a normal couple. Just the intensity of how passionate you both are. So tell me more about married life after the wedding regarding my watermelon. Sorbet. I couldn't even get the word out. Look at me. Sweet song. Soulmates often use music and songs as telepathic aid in order to share spiritual messages and emotions with each other. It feels, again, on the same page, similar taste in music. Something about music is a big deal. Like liking the same music, having music in the house played all the time. Like music is a big deal here. So let me see. Tell me more about this watermelon sorbet. What is married life like for this couple? Selecting pile number 1. Oh, okay. Well, that's way too many. We're not doing that. Get one more, and then we'll take the bottom. I thought I had one. I do. All right. And the bottom. Explore, take a ride, and explore new scenery or each other's inner thoughts. Feels like car rides. So this is a couple that takes rides. I'm not saying road trips, it could be, but like this is a type of couple that likes to hop in the car and just listen to music. Like take a ride and just have the good music that they like in the car. Okay. It feels like, honestly, this pile just feels regular in a good way. Like I said, the shadow could be, I mean, nothing's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. Everybody's got a shadow. So just be cognizant of the ones I mentioned. But like, it just feels like a normal couple. that gets married. You know what I'm saying? Security, stable, not going anywhere from each other. What's yours will always be yours. This love is secure by the divine, knowing that each other's not going anywhere, but still being very jealous anyway, which I guess jealousy, I guess, is a normal human emotion. Just this couple seems to be a little intense with it, so I would be mindful of that. I would be mindful of that. But again, Queen of Wands and the Emperor, those are two very passionate personality types just in general, so I could see why that would be a thing. I feel like this is a couple that when you fight, you're like, let's go take a ride somewhere. And then you put on the music, you love the music, and everybody's happy a little bit after it, right? Feels like a pile that's very good at making up. And like I mentioned, and some of y'all get off on that, like that whole fighting and making up thing, okay? So if that's your thing, that's your thing. But that's all I really have for you about number one. So hopefully it resonated. And if it did, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, join the crew if you're able to. There's a lot of exclusive messages on that Onyx key tier. Thank you for watching. All right, pile number two, my coconut sorbet. Let's see what life is going to be like with your future spouse after all of the butterflies and the engagement, things like that, once you kind of live together day to day. So for those of you that are new, I read and channel past, present, as well as incoming energy. I do read a polarity, which means there's a light as well as a shadow. You just have to find yourself in a lesson in the journey. I'm liking the differences in the piles already. It's only been two, but already everything that I saw when I was cleansing your decks, this is the working woman pile. Not saying that that's you, that's could be your spouse, but like it's definitely very strong, very powerful feminine stepping into this group that's very busy, that's very successful. So like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be you. It could be the spouse, right? Because this is a largely feminine audience, but there's also been a little bit of a growing masculine presence. So let me see. Give me an overview from my coconut sorbet. His future spouse. What's married life like with your future spouse? Okay, what's that? Look at the bigger picture. We got a full moon in Sagittarius. Okay. Step out of your comfort zone. North. No. Oh, this is that pile. Look at you two. So this is my achievement couple. This is my couple that travels a lot. This is my couple that's always doing new hobbies together. This is my pile that schedules date nights, that schedules vacations, that schedules trips to make sure that you're always connected, okay? This is my pile of a couple that is on path, on purpose together, like you're both living your path, your purpose. This is a pile where you challenge each other in the healthiest ways to stay on top of things and to make sure that nothing gets stale, not only in the connection, but in your life, right? Like it feels like you always know what to say when the other needs to hear it. I like that. Look at you. Someone here has a North Node, South Node in Gemini, Sagittarius. So good for you that you're in your right place, right space. If that's not you, maybe I'm talking about a partner that's coming in possibly with the North Node, South Node in Gemini, Sagittarius. Okay, and it could be flipped. It doesn't have to be that exact way I said it. So let me see more. Tell me more about my pile number two, my coconut sorbet. Tell me what married life is going to be like for my pile number two. So much came through. It's like a lot. So, I mean, I'm excited about this pile just because it feels like it's going to be very interesting, very different. So tell me more about my pile number two, please. Tell me about married life for pile two. Yeah, really fulfilled. Like, Ten of Cups is like, it's where we're fulfilled in a way that everybody around us can enjoy, right? So this is a couple that lights up spaces. This is a couple that everyone is excited to have, like, be around, right? Like, family gatherings, extended family gatherings, everyone's excited to see the pile two couple, right? Everybody knows it's going to be something new to learn, something new to hear about, something new to see when the pile two couples comes around. Okay, this is a couple where other couples want to be close to. um this is a couple that has family, like a lot of family around. This is a couple that's likely to have children, right? I know that's usually a topic of whether or whether or not. This is a couple that has children. um, if this is a couple that wants children, it's most likely to have a lot of children. So I can see this couple having lots of children. Okay, feels like a couple that could have lots of children at some point. Okay, and if not, they're just very engaged with all of the people around them. Okay, there's a lot of people on the table with this couple. So tell me about married life with this couple. Feels like a couple that also had a big wedding. Okay, like a big wedding, possibly a destination wedding. I was getting tropical with the coconuts. Big wedding. King of Wands, the dolphin. All right, tell me more about my pile two, my coconut sorbet. What is married life like? This is actually a couple where people talk about the wedding every time they mention a couple. Like, that's a nice wedding. Congratulations. I love that for you. Because people, like, that's a topic. It's like people day to day still talk about the wedding. Like, at the point of the marriage, right? I'm going to talk about it present tense because that's where I'm looking, is the marriage itself. So what is all of this on my table? I got a King of Wands. This is a pile where the masculine person is very, very proud, has a lot of pride regarding the feminine spouse. Okay, very, very prideful, likes to brag on the feminine spouse. So filled with, like, very, very fulfilled, very happy masculine on the table. I don't know why that's a big deal, but I have a very, very happy masculine on the table. Here I have a tower that leads to stability and grounding. It feels like someone that was slowed down. I don't know what like, tower is usually universal energy, right? It's a major arcana, so it's like something chaotic that happens that puts you in a certain position, and something about the chaos of the tower, it grounds and stabilizes the masculine. I don't know what that's related to, because we got a Knight of Pentacles, which is the most stable of the knights, someone that has a plan, someone that's not going to move. And then we have Four of Pentacles, which is someone that's stable, someone that's not less likely to move. So let me see who's at the bottom so I can know what's going on. I got the Seven of Pentacles. This is a masculine that is grounded and stabilized by the union. Got it. This is a masculine that is grounded, stabilized, and ignited by the union, right? Like, the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles is, I don't like to say it like that, is one of the, like, the most boring individuals that I've ever seen. Like, right? Because the Knight is like, the Knight of Pentacles is like, I'm planning. I'm building something long term. I don't have time for all that passion of the Knight of Wands. I don't have time for all that, like, the emotions of the cups, right? All that thinking of the swords. Like, I'm just building and I'm trying to be stable, and I'm not looking for anything other than that. So it's someone that could lack passion, and something about the day-to-day life with this couple. People, probably that's why the Ten of Cups is there. People are really excited that this masculine is more passionate, more expressive, more, I guess, traveling, learning, growing, doing other things versus just being stable. Feels like a feminine that really ignited some passion and some excitement. So what's that? Yeah, I mentioned the Seven of Pentacles, right? That is a very successful union, right? It's a union that is stable financially. I say stable. The masculine was stable on his own before the union. That's a confirmation. But the Seven of Pentacles talks about a harvest, talks about possibly combining incomes in a way that's really beneficial, or it talks about a union allowing one or both of you to elevate in a way to where you have even more of a harvest, right? Instead of having a little garden in your front yard, you have a whole property of crops, right? Like that's an analogy for that. So day to day, it feels like a very, the word lavish came to mind. I don't know about all that. It feels like a very well-to-do, well-off, successful couple. I mean, it's expensive out here, so to have all of those children that some of these couples stepping into this pile will, you have to be stable enough to have all these children. There's a lot of children on the table for some of them, and obviously even the ones where they have one, two, it feels like they extend to other children, like, so maybe doing like community work and things like that regarding other families and stuff like that, and obviously being well enough off with the Seven of Pentacles to do so, because that's what's on the table. So tell me more about this couple's day-to-day, because this is an exciting couple because you don't have a day-to-day on my table. It feels like someone that had a day-to-day, like possibly a masculine that had a day-to-day that was very stable and very routine, and shaking up of that in the best way, in a most fulfilling way. So like I said, traveling, learning, here today, there tomorrow. Like, it's a lot of motion. And I'm not saying there's no structure. You have to have structure with all of these people on the table, but it's not like, it's not as traditional as, like, it's not as common. That's the word. It's not as common as you expect the couple to be, right? So tell me more about my pile number 2, my coconut sorbet. Tell me about this married life with this couple. Wedding rings, not today. So we got wedding rings, union and marriage, soul connection, everlasting love, and devotion. We got not today, boundaries hurt, avoiding conversation, not dealing, still upset. All right. I'm telling you, so like, this is a couple people are talking about, like, people, it does feel a little bit superficial because people are talking about the wedding, people are talking about the rings, things like that. That's kind of the thing with this couple. Some of you, the specific thing is somebody on this table, like, this may be a couple that doesn't even have traditional rings. Like, something about it, like, this couple might not even have rings, some of you. So give me more. Coconut sorbet. Tell me about the married life for my coconut sorbet, please. You got the golden mirror. Narcissist, love bombing, self-absorbed, one-sided. Okay. Any more? Got healing heart, healing heartbreak, toxicity, addiction, abusive relationship. Okay. The bottom. Separation, sadness, bitterness, missing you, thinking about you, uncertain future. So you know what? Something about this couple, right? It feels like a couple there's a period of separation, possibly prior to the wedding. So it feels like a couple that may get engaged, and then some chaotic happens, and then like there's a separation, then you get back together and get married. I don't know what's all about, but that's kind of what I see a little bit, okay? I also see here where this may be someone's second marriage. You did pick pile 2. So this may be someone's second marriage after things went wrong in a different union, or even second engagement, right? Second time being engaged after something chaotic happens, okay? Feels more on the masculine side, where this would be the masculine second marriage, second engagement, or something like that, okay? Because it feels like a couple where a masculine possibly heals the heart through the union, okay? Like, had a heartbreak, lost a passion for life, things went wrong, and this coupling instilling that passion in that masculine. So I don't know who that would be for you, if that's your future spouse, but that's kind of the thing that's on my table here. Now it also feels like if you travel, this person travels. I mentioned people being very busy and it being non-traditional. Like I actually could see this couple living in separate homes for different periods of the year, if that makes sense. Like still being very connected, still having lots of families, still having lots of kids, but like I don't know, like maybe someone works somewhere here, someone works there, and like you live in different homes at different points of the year. That's a specific instance for some of you, but like that's a thing, and kind of missing each other when you have to do that. Okay, so let me see what Mel and Pascal say, because it's all over the place. See, I told you, right? I mentioned that powerful, somebody on the table may actually be like into research and academics, because that is what Sagittarius rules, is higher education. So tell me more about this coupling. What is married life like for this coupling? Coconut sorbet couple, what is their married life like? That's a reversal. What is that? Rags to riches in reverse. We got a lack mentality, scarcity, beginning phases. I don't take this literally because I don't quite agree with the description, right? I know that it's like pockets, so I'll read it, I guess, both ways, because I'm not really channeling today, y'all. I don't know what's going on with this question. Maybe it's just a straightforward question. I'm just reading cards. This is a coupling that may, so there always a polarity, and normally it doesn't step out that prominently for this topic. There is a side of you where day to day it's like more humble, right? So I got the one coupling that's like all over the place, really successful, but I also have on the other end of the spectrum a couple that kind of just has what they need and does what they need. Hence the possibility. That's why I got the some of you don't like, it's very minimal, like a minimalistic lifestyle. Like we don't need rings, we don't need all of that. We just need each other. We just need the basics. So that's on the table in that other end of the spectrum, where that's more likely to be the case with you and your lifestyle, right? So what is this? We got athlete, busy, 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 go, go, move. And I'm so serious, right? It talks about training, talks about being active, talks about motion. Feels like two people that may have jobs that are a little more laborious. I can see that, especially on the other end of the spectrum. Now, let me see what else comes out, because this is a pile that I can't quite catch a stable routine, and it could be that this is a pile in the shallow sense that lacks stability, but I also have a pile, like a side of this pile where it's like adventure, right? So no, that's way too many. So what am I doing here for my pile twos? Tell me about married life for my pile number 2. A coconut sorbet, please. What else can you tell me? This is interesting. We got an ice queen, assertive, composed, strength. Okay. I got the beach, ocean, water, cleanse, force, subconsciousness. I am using that Blue Secret Tarot deck, which is ocean themed. I mentioned that tropical energy being a theme. That could be where someone lives, right? That could be where you live. Some of you may, like I said, on that other end where everyone's doing really well, feels like you may have like beachfront, waterfront property, like live on a beach, near a beach. I feel like beach implies the lack of routine, and I'm so serious. It feels like a what's married life after the wedding. I mentioned traveling, I mentioned learning, I mentioned adventures, I mentioned scheduling, all of the fun stuff. So we've already hit on that, and this is more confirming it. Remember, the shadow is a couple that may not, again, I say shadow, does not need to be a shadow. When we talk about people that live more of a minimalistic, simplistic lifestyle, that lack of clarity with it, though, because it's not always stable, right? So me see. This rags to riches implies that no one's, because the way that this actually means to me versus what the card says, because I get it's split card, but if I'm looking at this just in reverse, it's not a couple that necessarily needs to build themselves up together, which is why the shadow is the lack mentality. It would be two people that are already minimalistic in lifestyle and are comfortable with that lifestyle, which is why it's minimal, possibly, like I said, no rings, things like that, very simple, just each other. The other end of that spectrum is not, it's not going to be a couple that builds together necessarily. It's going to be two people that are already successful when they meet. You see what I'm saying? Like, so stable feminine, stable masculine come together, build even more. So that's where I was taking here. And I don't know why that's relevant to the day to day, but I think it's implying that like you got a life, they got a life, you merge really well together, you get in where you fit in together, but for the most part, like you still have your own very strong, prominent identities. Because one thing I like about Melon Pop is the cards, they have very strong, prominent identities. Like, right, like, so let's say this is the masculine energy, right? This is the feminine energy, like two very distinct characters on the table and personalities on the table that just work really well together, right? Come together, and it's like a beach. So we do have stepping out of your comfort zone. Let me pull from this deck. Tell me, this is my last deck actually. Tell me the final messages regarding married life for my Pao-2. Tell me about married life for my coconut sorbet. What else do we need to know about married life for my coconut sorbet? I'll take that one as well as these two in the bottom. You gotta watch out, okay? This is a warning message. Be aware of gossip, envy, and jealousy. Someone or something is trying to stand in the way of this connection. You know, there's a lot of mess on the table. I'm not gonna lie when I mentioned like the drama and the chaos. This could be a couple that people don't want to be together for whatever reason. I don't know why, but some of you, this is a coupling where people, like the people that love you together, but there will be people that, and you know, the lightest side of the spectrum feels like people that have it all. So that's normal. Like I wouldn't be scared of the watch out card. Like I wouldn't be scared of that card if I was you, because it feels like, okay, very stable feminine, very fulfilled as an individual, very stable masculine, very fulfilled as an individual. Okay, boom, you got married, you're both happy as individuals, and now you get to be even happier together. Most people don't experience that, so it just feels like a very blessed and favored group, okay? On the lighter side. So I wouldn't worry about it, but that is a day-to-day having that type of energy. So we've got playfulness. Playtime is essential for relationships. Have a little fun recapturing romance with your fun. Like I mentioned, this it feels like the couple that prioritizes fun. It feels like I mentioned there was a masculine that lacked passion at one point, lacks passion possibly now. Like I don't know your timelines for all of this, right? Because I'm leading with incoming, but I'm reading it in present tense. It feels like a masculine that is lacking passion at some point, possibly losing faith in love, and meets you if you're the feminine here, or if that's you as the masculine that I'm reading, meets a feminine that's really opens you up. Honestly, some of you are feminine, some of you quote unquote women, feminine people are very masculine in nature. That's why we have powerful women. You may meet a partner that lightens you up and stops you from being more like the ice queen, because it can go both ways, right? It feels like the playfulness is a big deal. The dates, the traveling, the learning, the enjoying each other is a really big deal. So much so that it instills jealousy. Like seeing you two together and enjoying life instills a lot of jealousy day to day. So it feels like a very exciting life that attracts a lot of attention, right? We got main attraction. Someone can't keep their eyes off you. You are the leading star, the center of attention. So yes, feels like doting on each other, being very attentive with one another, only having eyes for each other, and it being a really big deal, okay? So let's see. We got soulmate. Yep. See? Soulmate. The person you're inquiring about is your soulmate. That sense of familiarity and comfort you feel is confirmation. Well, I'll give this pile that. I will give this pile that. If you're here asking about fiance, if you're here asking about someone specific, maybe. I hate encouraging y'all with that. I mentioned, I think in the other pile, I have lots of crush readings. If you have someone you're interested in, you can go and check it out there. Right? Because this is to see where you're headed in terms of like marriage. So, like, if you find a partner that's going to be your real partner, so go to crush readings if that's what you want. But if you're confident that you're interested in somebody, if you're confident that you're seeing somebody and that it looks promising and this kind of mirrors where I'm seeing, then congratulations. You just got a confirmation, okay? But I didn't want everybody to take that and run with it, okay? But even if you're here and I'm telling you stop that this is a specific person you're looking at this for and it's not them, like even if that's not it, right? Because you need to go to the crush readings, this is still in store for you if you really pick this pile, right? Like at some point, this is going to happen for you as well, okay? So that is all I have for you today. My pile number 2. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the crew if you're able to. There's a lot of exclusive messages on the Onyx Key tier. Thank you for watching. All right, pile number 3, my blueberry sorbet. Let's see what your life is going to be like with your future spouse, married life after all of the butterflies and rainbows and all of the happy sunshine of like engagements and stuff, right? So for those of you that are new, I read and channel past, present, as well as incoming energy. I do read a polarity, which means there's a light as well as a shadow. You just have to find yourself in the lesson, in the journey. So I mentioned in the other 2 piles, there are a lot of crush readings on the channel. This is intended just to see who that's going to be, what it's going to be like with whoever you end up with down the line. If you're single, if you have a crush, you can go to those readings. If you're already engaged, then yeah, have fun. This is a reading that will be for you if you're engaged and you're picking for your partner. If you're married and you want to pick for your partner, see if it aligns and things like that. Or it could be incoming energy as well, right? All right. So this is my couple that likes to eat. Like y'all like to eat, and I love that for you. So because I kept getting all of the indicators of like couples that really like to feed each other, really like to give each other gifts, taking care of each other, things like that. But it was emphasis on the food. Also, there's a lot of indicators of like lots of talking. Like this is a couple, you talk all the time. This is a couple that, like, you know how couples get mad at each other and they don't speak for like a day or however, like not this couple. This couple is still going to talk to each other even while mad, just because something about the way this couple functions, you need to be talking to each other all the time. Like I could even see this couple texting or like being on the phone at work, because that's just something about it, right? Because I got communication is key. So I got that Gemini energy there. That's the sign of communication, all that talking, right? And then I also have magician, which is ruled by that sign. So always talking, always needing to talk, always wanting feedback from each other, always sending each other like things you see on social media, always sending each other like recipes, reviews, like, because the emphasis on the eating, like sending each other recipes, like, oh, we should cook this, oh, we should go eat here, let's go try that. Like that's the couple, that's the day to day. Every day it's something new you two are going to try eating and things like that. So I love it, I love it. Tell me more about my blueberry sorbet. What is married life gonna be like day to day for my blueberry sorbet couple? Give me an overview for my blueberry sorbet couple. Give me an overview for my blueberry sorbet couple. Tell me about married life for them. Yeah, just a couple that really loves each other, doesn't know how to be without each other, doesn't know how to go more than a couple of hours without talking to each other. That's so sweet. Like a couple that just makes sense. So here we go. I've also got you and your loved ones are safe. Moon and Cancer. Very, very loving couple. Like a very well taken care of couple. So here's the thing that's really specific that it came through like that. Let me just fix this. So you know what? I mentioned the couple that likes to eat and things like that. There's a maternal figure. So between the two of you, someone's mom is like always feeding people. So I love that for you. Yeah, there's a maternal figure that's here feeding people. You and your loved ones are safe, right? That's a thing here. And it's also a couple that, if when children are a thing, very good with your children, very mutually hands-on with children. Normally, like, there's a parent that does more, that tends to the children more, that connects with the children more. That's just life, right? That's how it normally goes. Not this couple. This couple is equally hands-on with any children that come from the union. So I like to see that here. If you already have kids, I see a lot of, if either of you have children coming into the connection, I see those children just seamlessly flowing into the family dynamic. Like, this is a couple that blends families very well. Like, no one would know if you have children prior to the connection, because all of the children fit in very well. They're treated equally, and like, no one would know this is a stepchild. You get what I'm saying? That's what I love on this table for the pal. So day to day, everything just feels really good. It feels very smooth. Everybody's eating. Like, everybody's eating. So let me see. Let me get this deck. Tell me more about my blueberry sorbet. What's married life like for my blueberry sorbet couple? Tell me more about married life for my blueberry sorbet couple. Okay, I'm gonna take that one, this one, and Wheel of Fortune is coming out, doing really good. I guess I'll take all 5 of these. Now, how am I gonna do this? Let me just give me a second, y'all. Let me get it together. Your cards just hit me all at once. Maybe that's day-to-day life, is it all hits you at once, right? That Wheel of Fortune that's upright that I didn't even see fall, marriage is going to be a blessing for you too. And I know everybody's like, well, yeah, of course, marriage is always a blessing. Not always. And we don't judge here. We don't care enough to judge, right? Like, I'm just saying something about this coupling. Like, it's a glow up. Like, marriage is a legit glow up. Like, some people, they get married and things get worse. Sometimes people get married and they get a little dull. They get a little stale. They get stable, but they get a little stale. This feels like success following marriage. So let me take this and put it here. Feels like 2 people that are very fortunate to have each other. So what is all of this? 3 of Cups. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. For whatever reason, it feels like a couple that's more social after marriage. I don't know. The example that comes to mind is like, I don't know what stages of life you're at, but it feels like maybe you or this person, like, all of the friends are married, so they don't get to hang out with their friends as much because the friends are doing couple stuff, and this person's not like not married or wasn't married, and it was weird, so they just would be left out because they're doing couple stuff. It feels like now having a spouse opens up a lot more to participate in. And it could be with kids, right? It could be with kids as well. A lot more participate in, because it's things that you would need kids to do. See that. This is a really specific pile. I like it. I got 9 of Wands. Okay, which does talk about a pause. Talks about a pause. I've got 3 of Swords. All right. It's a couple that may have 3 children specifically, okay? And the Tower. Well, what is all of this? And why is it hitting my table? Got the 7 of Cups. Three of Swords, the Tower, 7 of Cups. Pause. So day to day, this is a couple that will handle life's challenges very well, right? Very each other's safe place, right? When things get bad, if things get really bad, life happens. We can't control life, and we definitely all go through ups and downs, losses, things like that. Feels like a couple where even at the worst, there's a lot of hope. I associate the 7 of Cups with hope and inspiration and manifesting, because it's someone that's looking up at the clouds. It's all these visions, all these ideas of what can be. And even at your lowest point, still having the safety of the union, right? The comfort of the union. So tell me more about my pile number 3. What is my blueberry sorbet? I want more clarity on this 3 of swords and tower. That's not a good combination. I don't like it. So what is that? That's soulmates, soul connection, partnership, soul contract, life partner. Okay. Tell me more about this data. What's that got to do with day to day? What's that got to do with day to day? Self-indulgence, self-worth, value, time to heal, shadow work, appreciation. Okay. One more. That one. Backstabbing. Heartbreaking pain, separation, loss, deception, lies, shocking, attack. Well, let me see what's at the bottom. At the chaser, fear of abandonment, chasing, codependencies. All right. So, chaos, conflict. So this is a couple. I gotta read the shadow. It just is what it is. I really want to, but I'm gonna ignore all this on my table. On the shadow side, I have an energy where I have a couple that one is not seeing the other clearly, right? Especially when we talk about someone that may have chased someone down initially, early stages where someone's like chasing to be with somebody. I see where it's all good, right? I see where it's all good. Everything's good. But then I also see the chaos that is the 3 of swords and the tower, which is chaos, it's conflict, it's burning down. It's something that's not sustainable. We got the backstabby, the sneaky behavior, the manipulation. All of that is on my table. So much so that I lost the lighter side a little bit. Like I lost it. It was there and then it left because it was like, it's straightforward. They like to eat, they hang out, they good time, everything's good. And then chaos and conflict hit my table. So let me pull more. Watch it because there isn't a wave. I mentioned a couple that likes to eat and things like that together. That is because that taste card was there. Hold on, I got revenge here. So newness, revenge, body, luxury, reaching goals and success. I did find my lighter side again. Thank you for that. But let me knock out the shadow because some of y'all asked about specific people and I hate reading the shadows, but I also don't want y'all out here looking crazy, right? So let me see. Give me more. Tell me about this day-to-day life with this wedding, this couple, because some of you may end up in a union where it's just not a good situation. So tell me what's mirrored life after the wedding from my pile number 3, my blueberry sorbet. Okay, the blueberry sorbet. Got social media, got popularity, influencer, tech savvy. It's one of those couples that may post a lot, share a lot of your business on social media. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't judge. Literally nothing wrong with that. I got performer, shine, confidence, musician, spotlight, dance, communication, especially if someone is an influencer. I know some of you are here, right, with your own social media followings. So that's a thing as well. I've very clearly identified the shadow, and I'm glad that I did because I don't want anyone to be like, oh, you're telling me what you're trying to tell me about my fiance Onyx. I'm not, because I don't like that. I really don't. But what I'm saying is, it's a clear shadow where it's a very performative coupling, right? It's very performative, right? That's why all that communication hit the table, right? I mentioned there was a couple that's so close, that loves each other so much. They talk all the time and everything's really good. They're really compatible. They merge so well. Like I even got like a grandmother mother that's always feeding everybody. Like that's the lightest side of like a couple that's truly together. The shadow feels like a couple that's more together for the sake of appearances. It feels like a couple that's more together because they feel like they should be together. I hate to say it, but there's examples of this is like people that like, oh, I dated so long that we've been together so long, might as well just go ahead and do it. It's also an example of I see people do this. Y'all do not be shocked, because I see people do this with my own two eyes in real life. They feel like they're reaching a certain age, and so they just start dating somebody and they're like close enough, and they just get married to like, because they feel like they're at the age they should be married. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, where it's performative, like that, just and you'll know, right? Like you can avoid that by not rushing yourself. Like some of you don't let yourself get caught up like, oh, I need to hurry and get married. So you marry somebody that you have no business marrying. Because this is a couple that have, this is a pile of, you have the potential to do that because you're just feeling like, oh, I need to get married, right? I know, especially when I talk about my feminines, there's like a biological clock. You're like, oh no, the top clock is ticking. I need to get married. Don't just marry somebody because it looks good, because you're going to end up in a marriage that just looks good. You see what I'm saying? So don't do that. Make sure you're compatible with somebody. Make sure you take your time and you pause and reflect like all of your options. Seven of Cups is options, right? Because you end up in a situation of convenience or just appearances. It's not real. You open it up for a lot of chaos, right? Because I know people should, because people are always like, well, people are mature, people are grown, people should have restraint. But like if you in a situation of convenience, when emotions get involved, like it makes it, I hate to say it, I see it all the time in these readings. It's easier to end up in a situation where people are cheating when you're in a connection that you're not really invested in emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So I see it all the time. So just avoid that if you can, because that's the clear shadow of where it's just appearances, where it just looks good, where it's a perception thing versus, oh, we actually, when no one's looking, we really love each other. We always talking, we're always doing this, right? So my lightest side of the pile, though, I mean, it glitters and it's gold, right? Like everybody can see how great it is, but it's actually that great. Let me get more. Tell me more about this pile number 3, my blueberry sorbet. What's married life like for my, because what I'm saying is the shadow side of the convenience is like you're chasing it down, you're chasing this person down, you're forcing something. So you end up with someone that kind of feels like they're settling for you, or that you do that. You end up with someone you feel like you settled for. So now we have all this chaos and this conflict that happens as a result, right? So tell me, pile number 3. Yeah, we got religious, faith, vows, church, practice, holy, worship, sacred. Especially people that like just get married just because like they got kids together and stuff like that, or just for religious reasons. Just watch that, okay? On that shadow side. Now, my lightest side of the pile, routine oriented, always talking, always sending each other stuff. I mentioned earlier, like sending each other like recipes and things that you want, like, oh, let's go see this movie. Like that's the dynamic. It's always connected. It's a couple that's always connected all day. Doesn't matter if you're working, right? Doesn't matter if you're in the bathroom, like all day connected, like constantly talking to each other. Like to see it. Let me get one more from this deck in the bottom, and I'll pull from our last deck. Tell me, what's the day-to-day life like for my married couple? That is the blueberry sorbet. Always talking. And again, the shadow is the illusion of always being connected. The illusion of being in love, right? Because that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Performer and religious feels like acting. Social media feels like showing what you want other people to see. So just watch it, okay? I'll even take these 3 because I'm hoping it brings me more of the lighter side. I've got mountains, elevation, peak, climbing, transcendence. I've got birth, pregnancy, new projects, children, new love. I mentioned birth, right? Let's not be with people just for the sake of kids and things like that as well, because that's a thing on my table. I've got fireworks, celebration, passion, loud, light, fire, and brightness. Really, really excited. This is my couple that actually would have a traditional wedding. It didn't come out in every single pile, but this one it did. I think the previous one did too. But this is my couple that would have like a traditional, especially if either of you are religious, it would be associated with like religion. It would be like a church wedding, things like that. Okay, so let's see what else I got here. Tea, gossip, eavesdropping, storytelling. Just watch it, because on that shadow, it's a pile where everybody's talking about how bad it actually is. So just be cognizant of it. It's a pile where everybody's talking about how bad it is because it's not real. Like, this is a couple where, because I'm gonna be honest with you, it even feels like backstabbing friends. It feels like friends are talking about, like, would be talking about y'all behind y'all's back. Like, oh, they post all this on social media, they act like this is them, this is how they act in a religious home. But if you really knew these people, it's not real. It's all an illusion. It's chaos, it's conflict. They be cheating on each other, got an outside baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how chaotic it feels on the shadow. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because I don't want you out here looking crazy. My lightest side of the pile, day to day, really perfect couple, very wholesome couple. Everything does look good, looks stable, looks routine oriented. All of the children are loved on, everybody's fed, all of the in-laws are happy. Like, it feels almost too good to be true. So there is a potential where they, because it's a lot of talking. It's a couple that's talking to each other all the time. Y'all might have a tendency to overshare on social media because you're so happy and in love, which I don't have a problem with. But just know that that opens you up to certain things. If, like, you the type that shares on social media everything that's great that's going on, because it opens up a lot of jealousy, right? Because now I'm seeing where you have like people that are like, you know, backstabby, right? People that are looking for to make up something to talk about. People that actively try to sabotage your connection by spreading lies and things like that, just because it looks too good to be true, and everybody's not happy. We are in times where a lot of people are actually very miserable, and they don't like to see happiness because it just reminds them of their misery. So that's why I always tell y'all to be cognizant of your oversharing, because if you're happy, you can be happy at peace. I'm not saying don't share anything on social media, things like that, especially those of you where it's your job, but just be mindful of what that opens up. Okay, I'm not lecturing, I just want y'all to know, because a lot of the shadow on the lighter side, it comes from oversharing and telling your business. Okay, so, but it's still a happy couple that's always talking to each other, always wanting to eat, like always sending each other stuff. Like, I think that's cute. Tell me my final messages for my blueberry sorbet. My blueberry sorbet. I'll take that one. I'll take this one. I may pull one more. Telepathy. I told you, lots, always talking. This is my coupling. If we look at the synastry chart, something about the communication axis, because like, you're always talking. This is a couple that would be dreaming about each other when you're away from each other, right? You know what the other's thinking. Like, you know, like, this is same page. That's why, like, the shadow is that it's an act that's not real, because it seems to be too good to be true. Because on the lighter side, it is like, it's eerie, right? Because like, this is that couple where, like, even when you're not around each other, you kind of know what the other one's doing, right? Because pay attention to the telepathic messages that are being sent and received at the same time. It's like a wavelength. It's like twins, you know? So let me see what this is. Past life. Yeah, like a past life. This is my pile that has that very deep past life. Like, if you overlay the charts, you'll see like past life connection. You'll see soulmate. You'll see all those connections, all of those synastry aspects that they say imply a past life, imply a soulmate, imply a twin flame, whatever connection, however you like to label it. Okay, it says there may be a past life connection or unfinished business with this person. Okay, and I'll get one more in the bottom. Pile number 3, my blueberry sorbet. Something about this gossiping and this. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. The lighter side of the tea and the storytelling is literally gonna be like, because they want me to go back, and because I keep forgetting that part. They also want, okay, I got initials and things like that. I'm coming back to this. They want me to, you, all of the talking. This is a pile that you're telling each other stories. You're probably gossiping about other people and other couples. Like, this is that couple that, like, the husband, wife, whoever, like, the friends get mad. That's the chaos. That's the lighter side of the chaos, is the backstabbing with the friends. Y'all overshare even with each other. So, like, and that's arguable. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't tell your spouse things. I'm not saying you should. But this is a couple where people are like, you told your spouse my business? Because it's people out here that don't lie to their spouses. This is a couple, and you don't lie to each other. You don't keep secrets from each other. So if your friends are behaving in chaotic ways, the spouse knows, and I can see that creating confusion. So, like, let's say you're a couple, there's another couple around you. This is the lightest side of that expression. This is why it's drama. Your friend cheating on their spouse, or their friends cheating on their spouse. They know, they find out, they tell you, you tell them, and now y'all are talking and gossiping about, like, oh, that's chaos. And then the one that's doing what they have no business doing finds out that the other one knows. Now they feel compromised, they feel backstabbed. But it's like, you're moving funny and we don't lie to each other. I see that. This is that couple where you trust each other completely, and even if it may cost you some friends, right? Telepathy, T. Okay? This is a couple that can't lie to each other, because you'll clock the sneaky behavior immediately. So this is not even a pile that would cheat on each other, that could, because you always know what the other guy's got going on. You know each other's habits and mannerisms enough to where you know when something's off with each other. So again, T, telepathy. I got the Three of Swords and Tower. Always knowing when something's wrong with each other. Letter T is definitely relevant here. And I have faith. Gonna land right on top of religious. Says trust and believe that this love is here to stay. Or this time, trust and believe that love is here to stay this time around. Don't let fear or doubt interfere. Trust the divine. If you have friends that you connect with, or they have friends that they connect with due to their trauma in relationships, right? That's going to be a thing, because it feels like if you're connecting with people and, like, y'all are miserable together because you can't keep a partner, or it happens on the other side, the ones that don't find the love in the timely manner of you, not gonna like that. Okay, not gonna like that. It's a thing. I don't know why this pile needed all of that, but it's a thing. Okay. Also, doubling down on possibly having more of a religious ceremony. Doubling down on this couple possibly being religious just daily, right? All that eating, maybe you pray before you eat, you say your grace, whatever you need to say. It's very prominent in the day-to-day life with this coupling, okay? And I got family and friends. The support of family and friends may strengthen this connection. A couple of having very good close friends, but also a couple that may have some very chaotic friends, right? Because, you know, that religious edge to this pile feels like the type of people that feel like they can save other people, that would want to mentor other couples. And good for you. But you know, my grandmother always says, if you run with dogs, you catch fleas. So just make sure that you're, like, because it feels like the day-to-day life of this couple may have a lot of may be connected to other couples. Now that I'm all done with all of the cards I'm going to put down. And just make sure that you don't allow other couples to bring their drama into your coupling, because that's the shadow of the lighter side, is allowing other people to bring their drama in here. Don't do that, okay? And then also very good with family and friends. I don't know, like I said, the good friends, the good family, very close, feels good, feels enjoyable, feels like a community, like everybody's interacting on a daily basis. There's a lot of healthy communication. It just feels good. I like it a lot, what I'm seeing here. But like I said, watch the shadow, because even those of you on the lighter side, you got a shadow in here that, again, comes from oversharing, whether your business or having chaotic friends who's got business they don't want you sharing with your spouse. I don't know if those are the type of friends you want to keep around, but I'm just the vision. I'm just the seer. I'm just telling you what I see in the future. All right. Okay. So that is all I have for you today. My pile number 3. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the crew if you're able to. We have a lot of exclusive messages on the Onyx Key tier. Thank you for watching. All right, pile number 4, my Blackberry Sorbet. Let's see your future spouses. Life with your future spouse, right? I guess we're going to see your future spouse's habits and things like that, since I kind of led with that. So I don't know why that's a thing, but we'll see. We'll see. But just overall, we want to see married life, day to day, once everything settles, right? How you guys will be living with this person. So I told the other piles, I'll let you know too. I have tons of crush ratings. This is more of a, if you're single and you're like, well, when I finally find somebody, whoever it is, what's it gonna be like? And then there's also some of you that may already be engaged, right? Maybe clicking on this for fun if you're already married. That's kind of where you, I won't say are allowed to lead with if you're picking for somebody specific, but I know you're going to do whatever you want, but I encourage you, if you're looking for a crush reading, to go to that and to be open and select your pal based on what could be incoming here, because it brings shadows in here. Okay, it does. So for those of you that are new, I read and channel past, present, as well as incoming energy. I do read a polarity, which means there's a light as well as a shadow. You just have to find yourself in the lesson and the journey. Okay. All right, so let me see. If you picked that other pile that was very, very talkative, then you're definitely gonna be day to day with whoever you end up marrying or your spouse, just talking all the time, right? Because I even have it, I have talking here, literally talking. And then Melanin Pop has call, right? So just a couple that always likes to talk. It's always a conversation, there's always something going on, okay? Always a topic. Okay, so let me get this overview so we can see. Tell me what married life is going to be like for my Blackberry Sorbet. Blackberry Sorbet. An overview for my Blackberry Sorbet, please. What will married life be for my Blackberry Sorbet couple? Me an overview for my okay. What I like about the energy, and for better for worse, it will be very clear even leading up to, like, as you're dating this person, as you're engaged with this person, what life is going to be like when you're married. Like, so you're going to go into the marriage already having an idea what like life is going to be like. So I don't know, some of you, this may be someone you live with for a little bit before you actually get engaged and married, which makes sense, because it doesn't feel like what I'm about to tell you is going to come as a surprise. It feels like, and even if it's a surprise now, because, like, let's say you're single, no spouse in sight, it may be surprising now if it's anything noteworthy, but at the point of you, like, getting engaged to this person, you'll be like, yeah, I could actually see that reading I got from Onyx, where that made sense. Okay, so what is this? A time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. Okay, so this is my health conscious couple. This is my couple that's very concentrated on health and wellness and just being organized and making time, making sure your schedules are in order, making sure each other aren't late for things, right? That's the structure of this. So yeah, I can see this is 100% a couple that would test the waters by living together prior to getting married. It's very practical. So I can see that. And Virgo actually is this one of the signs that rules communication. It's ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. So very like-minded, and the way you two want to live is very similar. So that's part of your compatibility. Like, this couple is, you two are on the same page regarding how you want to live. And that's not just your day-to-day habits, that's your ideas on fitness, your ideas on prioritizing health and wellness, your ideas on nutrition and the types of food that you want to eat. Like, you're on the same page about all of those things. So it works very, very well. And even in the areas where you're not on the same page, there's a healthy amount of compromise, right? Because we got a time to give rather than take. Okay, so let me see what's at the bottom. Nothing will come of the situation. Void of course moon. That talks about that deliberate energy of it's not surprising. Like by the time you're married, like this isn't this isn't a couple that would need this reading, because you're not gonna get married before you know what it looks like to live together. Yeah, right? Or at least stay together for long periods of time, because you need to know. Like this is a couple that's like very upfront and honest. Like, okay, this is what I do when I'm like I'm preparing you now kind of energy. But a time to give rather than take. Nothing will come of the situation. Let's see. I don't know. Tell me more about my pile number 4. My Blackberry Sorbet. Tell me what married life is like for my Blackberry Sorbet couple. Tell me more about what married life is going to be like for my Blackberry Sorbet couple. I'll take those two in the bottom. I got a King of Pentacles. Okay. I got a Queen of Cups and a Knight of Wands. So this is the most randomly specific thing, okay? So I see King of Pentacles, which is masculine, right? Likely earth placements. I do have Virgo on the table, so it could be a masculine with Virgo placements. But I also see a very nurturing Queen of Cups. So the feminine in here is very traditionally feminine, like very, very traditionally feminine, very caretaking, very nurturing, very maternal, okay? The Knight of Wands feels very busy, but the Knight of Wands here feels like a child, possibly a son. So it feels like, what's the married life going to be like? A son, like having a son, having a child, and it being very active child. So I don't know if someone here already has children or a child or something like that, but there's a very active, very excited child there. I've got the Nine of Pentacles on the table. Which could indicate a single parent. So, got them. Oh, look at me. I got a single parent on the table. Things are crooked. Somebody, okay, you know what? Somebody's tightening up this ship. Got it. Yeah, somebody's tightening up the ship. So day to day, it feels like possibly a single parent on the table that finds a spouse, and that spouse kind of like organizes the family. That's what I'm getting here. So some of you where that's your lifestyle, that's your thing, your very specific message just came through because it was very, very prominent, very, very clear on the table, tightening you up. Okay, so let me pull from these other decks. I do want to see more where it's not that very specific circumstance. And more. There is an energy that, I mean, it just depends. Some of you are going to like this because you like your alone time. Others of you are going to be annoyed by it. Don't like be mad at me. Because the trajectory, you can always do whatever you want. You have free will. You don't have to end up in this type of union. There's a couple in this group that it's very independent. Like there is one person that is very hands off regarding a child, because like Nine of Pentacles is by yourself. It's I, me, it's independent without support, right? So it feels like someone that's kind of, because Nine of Pentacles could also be one income. You see what I'm saying? So it could very much so be where there is a parent that is always working, and then there's one parent that does not work at all, and not hardly seeing each other, and the one that doesn't work at all having full domain over whatever children. Okay, so tell me more about my pile number 4. Tell me married life after the wedding. We got separation, sadness, bitterness, missing you, thinking about your uncertain future. Well, I mean, I can't control the reading, but I'm not really the hugest fan of this pile because it feels like a couple that never sees each other. Like, never sees each other, never sees each other. So, what's that all about? Tell me more. What is married life after the wedding? Some of you are like, yes, good, because I only, like, some of y'all are like, I want a spouse, but I want it to be like, where I don't have to be bothered. I love that for you. But it's just bizarre that you would be like that. People that would be like, oh, I can't wait to get married. Like, I want to watch this Onyx reading because I want to see when I'm going to get married. And then I tell you like, oh, y'all not going to see each other. Yeah, we got seduction, attraction, teasing, hooking up, date, third party temptation. Letter S may be relevant. We've got partying, time with friends, having fun, happily single, living in the moment. Okay. You know what? I bet you I know which one of you picked this pile where this message is coming from. I hope you leave another comment because I can't remember the name, but one of you was like, oh, I'm not interested in people. Like, I don't want to date. It was very chaotic comment. I found it hilarious. It's like, oh, I watch these so that I know who to avoid. And all of you that were liking that comment, this is why we have shadows in these piles. I thought it was hilarious, but this is why we have shadows in these piles. This is, if there is a pile today where it's like, oh no, you're not getting married, you're going to live your good life, maybe have like somebody that you date for a little bit, that's you, that you're in this pile. Because this is a pile of being single, ready to mingle, maybe have a child, maybe will have a child, maybe find somebody that you really like and are interested in at some point. But this would actually be a pile of someone that never marries. I'm not saying all of you here will never marry. I'm saying this is a pile of a conscious choice of someone that possibly may never marry. Okay? So if you're picking this just to be messy, like y'all leave in the comments, that's why. I do have paradise, happiness, joy, playfulness, enjoying each other, honeymoon phase. So those of you that do get married, fun couple. What I like about the fun nature of the couple that actually gets married is that it won't feel like a married life. Feels like a couple. And I mentioned tightening things up and having a strict routine and things like that. That is a thing. There is a group here like that because like 3 different distinct energies that hit this pile, like 3 different narratives. One set of you is one where you live life as though you're single. Like, I don't know if it's an open relationship. I don't know what it is. Some of you, maybe it is that, but it just feels like 2 people that just are partying and living it up. Like, you live it up by yourself. Like, you're out living life like you're single. So I don't know what it is about that Blackberry Sorbet, but it's a very interesting pile. I did not expect it to come through. Like, some of y'all selecting this pile, people would question if you were married and be shocked to find out that you were. So let me see. Tell me more. Give me more details on what's with this chaos. Tell me more about married life for my Blackberry Sorbet. Oh, that's because, okay, some of you are like, I've been there, done that, I'm not getting married again. Some of y'all are like, I've been there, done that, I know what marriage looks like, not interested, because this is my more mature pile. I got you. Like, you've already been married. That's why we got children on the table, like, possibly, right? But age, maturity, clever, charming experience, like, been there, done that. This is also talks about my more mature bachelors, bachelorettes. Like, you're not really looking for that. That's not your vibe. You here just to confirm that you're still on trajectory for that because that's what you want. Tell me more about my pile number 4, my Blackberry Sorbet. I didn't expect the pile to be like, oh no, I'm not getting married, but there you go. I got a pile that's like, oh no, I'm not getting married. Shout out to pile 4 for taking over the reading. Tell me more about married life for my pile 4, please. Long distance. I told you, some of you in here like, yeah, y'all get married, but it's gonna be separate houses, live separate lives, just doing whatever you want, and that's your thing. I mean, I love it for you. Like, some of you will be in a long distance marriage. I'm not saying all of you, but some of you will, and you're gonna love it. Like, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be out living your life, your partners, and when you see your partner, it's like very stimulated energy. Like, I'm not going to discuss it because it's not the topic of the reading and I don't want to flag it, but like, it's very stimulated, like really excited when you do see each other, but very distinct lives where that's a thing. So what else can I expect to tell this Blackberry Sorbet pile? What is married life like from my Blackberry Sorbet pile? I need like 2 more cards from this deck. For those, okay, so let me try to find the rest of y'all, because some of y'all are gonna get mad at me because all of the non-traditional stuff then. So the ones that are never gonna get married, the ones that are gonna have common law marriage, the ones of you that are gonna be living in separate houses, give me, like, I just confirmed that for all of you that are interested in that life, but I know people that pick these readings are not looking for that answer. So let me dig a little deeper for those selecting this Blackberry Sorbet, where they are gonna have a more traditional, right, marriage where they want to be together all the time. What's that gonna look like? Please give me some clarity on what that's gonna look like, please. Got an Ice Queen, assertive, composed, strength. It's taking me back to that energy where we have one is working and one is at home, and the one that's at home is like running a tight ship. It's taking me back to that, where it's a traditional couple. I'm getting a tighten up routine. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's doing good. Like that initial message that came through. Okay, so tell me more about the more traditional side of this pile, where we have a couple that lives together full time. What does that look like? What does this couple that lives together full time look like? Please tell me more about that. It is not the dominant energy, I know that much. That's funny. We got the twin flame, we got fireworks, intensity, healing, contracts, mirroring. We got celebration, passion, loud, light, and bright, fire and brightness. Very passionate couple, where you're on that side where you're living together full time, or you spend your day-to-day together. Feels like a twin flame firework union. Now, I don't have any details beyond you two being very passionate and like borderline obsessed with each other day to day, and it all working because you're very compatible in the way you want to live. Remember, that was the initial message. You're very compatible in the way you want to live. So it's not a surprise. That was the initial message for all those of you that are looking for traditional marriage. It's not a surprise because it feels like a couple that would have tested living together before getting married. It feels like a couple that if you have kids, you're already very familiar with the kids. Like, you've already lived with the kids, things like that. Like, it feels like you're very, like, nothing will come of the situation. There's nothing to be shocked by, because match made in heaven, you're meant to kind of, like, it just feels so natural when you start living together that it's nothing to be surprised by. But shout out to y'all that came through, that are like never getting married, that have a long-term boyfriend, girlfriend, open marriages here. What else? The long distance relationships. Shout out to all of y'all that came through. Wasn't expecting you, but welcome. I got lock and key, secrets, silence, burden, and quiet. Very private connection. Very, very private connection. Which makes sense, because even my pile where you're together every day, all time, you kind of stay to yourselves as a couple, because you know what, Virgo does rule the Hermit. Nine of Pentacles is solitary energy, so this is a couple that just kind of stays to themselves. It doesn't look like y'all have a lot of friends, where you're on the most traditional side. Like, you stay to yourselves, you stay in the house, right? You just kind of do your own thing. You're happy. If you have a kid or two, you're just happy together. You don't really go out much. The other set of you guys, outside single, outside acting single, 2 different homes, see each other. I'm telling you, it feels like lifelong boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, it feels like people are like, where's your husband? And you're like, who? Where's your wife? Who? You know what I mean? Because, like, there's a very interesting, I like that it came on the table, because it keeps me honest as a reader when energies that like hit the table that I'm not used to seeing. But I mean, shout out to y'all for coming through. Let me get this last set of cards. I think it's funny that y'all came in. Please comment and let me know that you selected this pile if this makes sense for you. Because it's not a bizarre energy. Like, it's common. I see it all the time. But it's bizarre that it came through in this reading because, again, people that watch my channel that love all these love readings, crush readings, when am I going to get married readings, I just didn't expect any of you to select the pile and be like, oh, by the way, so all this asking about when I'm getting married, I actually don't want to live with the person at all. Or I'm not actually trying to get married to the person at all, even though y'all are like really fixated on the topic. It just threw me off as the reader. So pile number 4, tell me my final messages for what married life is going to be like for my Blackberry Sorbet. Like I said, don't get upset with me if those of you wanting like a more traditional marriage and all the things. You're in here, and I was very clear at the beginning and end about that. And I'll probably get something better here from this deck as well, okay? So tell me more about what married life is going to be like for my Blackberry Sorbet. Quality time means putting away the phone and clearing your brain of anything distracting so you can ensure your partner's your number one focus. This makes so much sense for every single coupling that came through, right? Like the eternally single one that doesn't want anybody, just, it's fine, don't worry about it, you're gone. But the long-term common law marriages, long-term boyfriend girlfriend, long-term long distance, it's like people that don't really want to be stuck with each other, but when you're together, it's like magic. It's twin flame fireworks, it's lock and key. People probably don't see y'all for like a week when y'all are finally together. Like the quality time, the scheduled time is time. Like it is like no one can take away from that time. Like it's non-negotiable time. Like when y'all are going to be together, y'all are together. So I mean, it makes sense. I got it. So tell me more. And again, that really the more traditional side of this pile, all together all the time, in the house all the time, right? So tell me more about my pile number 4, my Blackberry Sorbet. What is married life like for my Blackberry Sorbet? Communication. I mentioned talking all the time because y'all are never away from each other. Y'all are always in the house together. This is the lightest, I say lightest, the less potential for confusion, right? The side that's a little more mundane, right? You're together all the time. Y'all don't leave the house. Y'all talk all the time because all you do is spend quality time together. All you do is communicate. You're just always together, okay? And that's what I got. So tell me, those of you where it's like distance, like two separate homes, where you're like, there's a lot of distance most of the time between the two of you. Every time you see each other, it's like a honeymoon, right? So it's very, very passionate. And tell me more about this. Slowing down. Just because we want something so bad doesn't mean we have to rush into it. Take a moment to talk with your partner or self to reflect on what is best. And that's why you came in with these piles, because this is a slow burn pile. This is a pile that may take years to get engaged. This is a pile that I mentioned the common law marriage and the never getting married. Like this is a pile you're not surprised about married life, because at the point of married life, it feels like you've been together a while. Okay? Like a while. And that's why you're in the pile with the people that like live in separate homes and all of that, because it feels like people that probably were together like 10 years and they're like, you know, we've been dating so long, we might as well just go ahead and merge assets a little bit. I'm keeping my house though. Like that's what I'm seeing. Like, yeah, we've been together so long, I don't think I'm going anywhere, I don't think you're going anywhere, because we still in love and all of that. But just because we're getting married doesn't mean that I'm selling my house. I'm not selling my house. And I like coming to your house because I like the two cities we live in. You see what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what it feels like. People that are like, you know, it's nothing wrong with what we're doing now and the way we're doing it, but maybe we should get some papers, especially if we have this kid now. We're going to keep having kids. Like there's people that are like, oh, I want the same last name as my child. But I don't know. Married life does not seem shocking for this group. So I love that it came through, because I love reading interesting takes. Tell me one more message regarding my Blackberry Sorbet pile. I'll take 2. Law of attraction. Really attracted to each other. Like, don't be lost. Like, there is a, like, the side where it's like long-term common law, whatever, or still living long distance and getting married. It's a lot of attraction. That's the only reason why it works and why the two agree to even get married, because it's not like two people that hate each other so you live in separate homes because you're borderline divorced. It's just people that are like, we want to be together but we don't want to give up our lives, especially if you're more mature, like the silver fox. You're like, who says we have to do marriage the way everybody else does marriage, right? I trust you, you trust me, right? So I get it, it says we attract what we are. Use the law of attraction to manifest your perfect match by being the perfect match to yourself first. Again, very compatible in the way you want to live. I led with that being the main message of two people that are on the same page about how they want to live, which is why all of these non-traditional dynamics came through, is because you want to live a certain way, this person wants to live a certain way. Just because other people don't do it doesn't make it not right. So good for you for finding your right person. We got higher self, and if it hasn't happened now, it will. I'm confirming. No matter how dark or muddy your path may be, trust the guidance of your higher self. Okay? And it says ready for love. You've been understandably guarded, scared of being hurt again, but you took the time to heal. Now you're ready to try love again. Feels like a couple that, again, together a while and just kind of knowing, okay, maybe it is time to, like, we've been together so long, let's do something different, right? We've got disharmony. There seems to be some disconnect. Use this time to address any issues to restore harmony in this relationship. And disconnect is not conflict, it is the distance, where that's the thing, okay? Because on my more traditional side of this pile, there is disharmony. There is a little bit possessiveness. I'm not gonna lie. It feels very, one works all day, one stays home all day, and very possessive. Like the one working not wanting the one that's in the house possibly to go out and things like that. Like, oh, I don't want you out and about. And even the one that's in the house, like, okay, what you doing out? It feels like I got that. Once I hit that disharmony, feels like people that are a little bit jealous of each other. There was another pile with that energy stepped through. Right? Like the more traditional side feels like you don't want each other to go out at all. So y'all both stay in the house together because y'all are very jealous of each other. So y'all don't have friends or anything like that at the extremist sense, because y'all don't want, like, y'all don't trust each other. Like, no offense, but it's like, because if you only can be around each other, that's a trust thing, right? And then again, I got the free spirited pile side of the pile that's like, oh no, we got separate houses in separate cities. I ain't seen him in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen him in a month, but you know what? We're going on vacation soon. It's going to be great. Okay. So that's pretty much it. That's all I've got. Feels like a couple, though, when it's time to get married, you'll be on the same page about it. Like, it's not going to be this huge proposal. It'll be just like a decision. Like, okay, let's just go ahead and do it. Right? All right. So that is all I have for you today. My Blackberry Sorbet. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the crew if you're able to. We have a lot of exclusive messages on the Onyx Key tier. Thank you for watching.